Guess what? Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today we're going to talk about something. Actually, it's something that uh, raising kids in the Philippines. You know, how tough is it? Is it easier to raise kids in the States or is it easier to raise kids in the Philippines? It's a big question. It varies on the family. It's bottom line. It varies on the family. A lot of people tell me, hey, Tom, it's so much easier in the States. I don't have to worry about the fiestas and I don't have to worry about the projects. I don't have to worry about all the things. I send them to school. They close the doors. They got guards there and ready to rock and roll. There's good and bad all the way around. They do the same here, depending on what school you go to. You go to school, it's under lockdown. Nobody can basically come in or out. There's guards, depending on what school it is. But usually around where we're at and about, they're under lockdown. They can leave during lunchtime and things like that. They have to have badge and entry. They have a card and or badge, with their picture in it, so they can get out of school. Of course, a good tall tale is they got uniforms here, and people wear uniforms. Kids wear uniforms, and so sometimes it's good and bad. But you'll find that a lot of times, especially public schools, they're out of school and they're at lunchtime. They take off and they don't come back until whenever, and they go to school and whatever. And sometimes teachers don't take roll call. Sometimes they do take roll call. I don't know if they even take roll call in the morning. I'm sure they do. But raising kids is really, I wouldn't say it's difficult here, but it can be quite stressful. And what I mean by it, here's an example. You register the student in the school, your child in the school. They have certain projects and fiestas they have to do. They have certain things, the dance, and you got to buy them dresses, and it's a constant thing with the projects. I mean, literally, it's a project one day to the next, to the next, to the next. And it's project-driven schools. Projects meaning they may have a particular dance they need to learn. There may be a certain cheer they have to learn. There may be a certain thing they have to do. It's usually dancing and singing and things of that nature, because I'm not saying they don't learn. I'm not saying that. That's some cases I wonder if they do or don't, because it seems they're out of school more than they are in school. Where schools in U.S., they have criteria. They have to do so many days, 200 plus days a year. Same here. But they don't tell you here is you may go to school in the morning and be out in the afternoon, or out all day, meaning they go to school and they check in, oh, we're supposed to go to school today. Or you'll get a notice online. I don't know, I wonder how many students show up when they didn't get the notice, or they don't have internet, or they're in the mountain and they don't realize that school's already started, are off today, and they went to school. I imagine it happens quite a bit here. Because a lot of times RR will go to school the night before. You get a notice, oh, no school tomorrow. Well, did they not know that last week? Did they know that this week? So it's a constant thing. You just got to bend here a lot. Now, of course, do you have the same problems with like they do in the States, with all the problems that's happening with the people coming into schools and carrying items of things of that nature? Well, here they may or may not have. They do have, in a lot of cases, not always, metal detectors and or some type of device to scan the students. Do they check all the bags? I don't know. I don't think they really do, because in elementary and some of the public schools, they just basically go in a gate and they kind of lock it down halfway, and then but you see students scattered all over the place. You may see them in town at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they went to school that morning, and they're out the day, whatever. But in the States, they're basically locked down. Do they learn more here than they do in the States? Well, there are people that I know that are in the States that have children and had children here in school here and have children in the States. Do they learn more in the States than they do here? Not necessarily, but more than not, they do. They're a little bit more advanced in the States. They seem to be more in depth. The teachers here sometimes, where they will fall short, is having the knowledge to go on next level. In other words, they have criteria here they meet, and they have criteria like in math and English and things like that, and Filipino and science and history, but they teach it in a way that's way completely different than we're accustomed to. You know, where you go nowadays may not have books in the schools in states, but here they don't have books in schools anymore because of the COVID, and there's no more books. So they basically teach all by screen and or online. And but most of the time, I love books because you can always refer back to a book. It's easy. I'd rather pay for books and then turn them in the year, get my money back, or however that is, or give them to the next year's students. The thing of it is, in the States, the opportunities are more, and so the teachers are more involved in the students. Here, they're involved in the students, but see, you got to realize something too. Here, more so than anything else, class size varies. It can go up to 50 students, 53, 54. You can have up 80 students in a classroom. Now, how are you going to teach 80 students in a classroom? I have no idea. Where in the States, they're limited to a certain amount. In some states, there's laws. They can only have so many students per classroom, as you guys already know this. But from the friends that I've talked to and the friends that already are in the States, have said that the schools are better in the States, just 100% better. They can pass the exams. They can go to college. They can do things like that. Where students sometimes here maybe they're smarter here student-wise, because kids do really care and want to learn. They really do care what they want to talk about. And they do care what they want to learn, you know. But in the States, more so, it's more academically ready. Students here will go to college, but a lot of times what holds them back is, you know, their province life, cash, society itself. Because the economy infrastructure is not large enough to withstand. You can only hire, you know, 20,000 civil engineers for the country, or 100,000 civil engineers, where there's 400,000 taking civil engineering. And so they're finding that the students are finding that they got to change their format and go to plan B, C, D, E, F. Where in the States, you could just have so many opportunities. If they want to be a civil engineer, they can be a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and do whatever they want to do. Here, it's more so of a stagnant, there's only so many doctors going to be hired. Right now, the new thing is internal medicine. 4 years ago, internal medicine, nobody wanted to do it. They were overrun with internal medicine. There's so many people in internal medicine. Now, they're looking for nurses in internal medicine. And even the doctor was telling me he has 4 or 6 that work for him that are internal medicine. He needs more, and they're looking for more, and so they're wanting students to get into that, which is a positive thing. But in the States, more so, as you guys know, the arena is wide open, and it gives more opportunity in general. So the students is it easier for the students to learn here or in the States? I think overall it depends on the student and what they want to do. And I think it just more opportunities are more, even though all the troubles are happening there. But you guys got to realize something. People tell me, the downfall of the U.S. Guys, there's how many people in the United States? You can fit the Philippines in the state of Texas. I mean, come on, you put 3 Philippines in the state of Texas. So you have 20 million people here compared to 360 million in the States. So there is a big difference between the population here and the population there. So people tell me, oh, it's so horrible. But yeah, we got 3 times and 4 times the amount of people there. And 4 times and 10 times the amount of students. Our school to class, graduating class here is 3,000, 4,000. You can have a graduating class in a small community like Henry County, Kentucky, or Paris, Tennessee, that has 2,000, 3,000 students graduating just in high school alone. Because schools here, they're a little bit different. They have colleges, and they have schools, and they have a Department of Education, and they have CHED. There's all kinds of different groups and organizations and private schools and all these things here. There you go. Every corner has a school. There's so many schools on every corner, but does not mean that they're learning to the standards that they need to learn. Now, you have people coming here from all over the world going for nursing and all the other things, and great and fantastic, but when they go to the other countries, they can't pass exams. Like, there's a lot of guys that they're going for India. A friend of mine was telling me that they went to school here and they passed the exams here and everything was fine, but go back in their own country there in India, they could not pass the exam to gain entry in the schools that they need to go, or the hospitals. So it's like anything else. You are a product of the environment you're in. And people don't really realize that you're a product of the environment you're in. If you're in an environment that is opportunity driven and many opportunities, where so here it's limited. They're only going to hire so many people at the college to go to work at the hospital. And kids get out of college and they have a degree, maybe in accounting or maybe nursing or a lawyer or things like that, and they're at home because they have a degree. There's so many thousand kids that sit at home with a degree. And women that have a degree end up going to OFW and they have a fantastic degree that they can't find another job. So raising kids here, and kids in general, they need to have more. What I'm getting at, they need to have more in their life. Whether they're in New Zealand, whether in United Kingdom, whether in wherever they're out throughout the world, they need more opportunity. So if your person has a child here in the Philippines, they need to really think about getting them out into their world, into the world, and let them study and learn and expand their horizon. Because here, they're stuck. Sad to say. I know this is a video I didn't want to do, but people may say, "Oh, Tom, you're all wrong. You're wrong." But no, they're stuck. And even people living here are stuck. They're trying to get out of the country. You have more people wanting to leave the country, Filipino wanting to leave, get out of here as quick as they can. Then you got people from foreigners all over the world wanting to come in here. But not as many as you think, not like it used to be, because they're changing all the visa things, and the requirements for the visas is changing. Not in a good way. So you're not going to have any friendly visa situations here. But I wanted to talk about this today and go around this and talk about this. I want to thank everybody for always watching my videos. And I'll catch you guys next time on Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures.